We're visiting with Coach Max Bowman. He's the head football coach at Houston Christian High School. He's been in coaching over 30 years. He's been at every level, high school level, college level, was the assistant athletic director at Rutgers, head of football operations, chief of staff there with Greg Schiano. He coached with Wade Phillips, a tight ends, and a special assistant to him at the Buffalo Bills. He was responsible for signing Doug Flutie to Boston College, and then had the idea of bringing him from the CFL back into the NFL with the Buffalo Bills. And boy, we're having a delightful visit. What is it about how you approach both the academic and the athletic that sets you apart?
Well, let's start with what I think is a philosophy. I call it win. Okay. What's important now? Okay, when you're looking at that, it's not what you're doing when you have a uniform on. It's what you're doing before you ever get a uniform on. It's what you're doing every day of your life, in the classroom, walking the halls, in your social life, in your home life. All the things that I think are very important to defining what a winner is all about. And it's not just a matter of how well you play a game, it's a matter of how well you live your life and how well you compete at what you do well. The second half of that is, it's also I guess you would call it a cliche that I try to live by myself. Be who you are, where you are, always trying to be the best God wants you to be. Now, that's a tough thing, especially when you have parents sometimes that thinks their children are already for Notre Dame and UT and A&M, and the young men sometimes are given a false impression of who they really are. And you have to bring them down to earth in a way where when you say what's important now, I think from a coach's perspective, you have to understand what they think is important before you're ever going to get to change that culture to make what's important now the values that have to be in place for them to be successful as an individual and for us to be successful as a team. So we look at the whole student. In summing up the question you asked me,
sure.
I want to be involved in every aspect of the student's life. I want them to know how important it is. If you're capable of pulling A's, pull A's.
Right.
If you're not capable of pulling A's, then pull what you're capable of. Don't just blow it off because you haven't had success there. Take that attitude into every avenue that you're a part of at 14, 15, 16, 17, and develop, I think, what I call a winner's mentality, which goes right along with what the Lord expects. That you're going to be the best you can be with His help, doing the things He wants you to do